first item on my list of cold weather wardrobe essentials, the double-breasted knit blazer. Now, double-breasted jackets, raise your hand if you own one. Bueller? Yeah, out of the thousands of people watching this video, I saw 4 of you raise your hands. I get it, a double-breasted suit or blazer, not really practical unless you own 10 plus suits. But here's the thing, a double-breasted sweater jacket, that is gonna be much more casual, and a color gray like this, it's gonna match pretty much anything in your wardrobe. Seriously, gents, this one item could level up your style and help you stand apart from all the other guys out there. Now, the rules on wearing a double-breasted sweater jacket, very similar to a sports jacket or a blazer. Basically, when you stand, you wanna button the jacket. That right there is going to create a more uniform look. Right here, you notice I've got the Y look, and that's I've got 2 sets of buttons and then another set that kind of goes out. You want to make sure you find a jacket if you're going to go with double-breasted. Always go with the Y, avoid the V. That's a bad design. Now, the shirts, you want to make sure you wear something with a collar. I prefer a dress shirt. You can go with a polo or even a button down. In this case, you say I'm actually going with a sweater that builds up the neck and has a bit of a collar to it. The overall design, you're going to see we've got a breast pocket here, 2 patch pockets. We have no vents in the back and we have no button right here. So when it comes to levels of formality, I would put this below the sports jacket. And again, that's its strength. It's casual, yet it has a little bit more of a formal design. It's going to stand out from what most of the other guys are wearing during the holidays, during this winter. What I really love is you can layer with this, and it's just a great looking piece that again is going to help you stand out from the crowd. The second item on my list, the classic turtleneck sweater. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, Antonio, turtlenecks are not my thing. And guys that say this usually have 2 reasons why they don't like turtlenecks. Number 1, they just don't like the look. They don't feel it's manly enough, or it's not comfortable. First up, let's address the look. Let's address the manliness of the turtleneck sweater. Guys, if you don't know the history, this goes back to the working class man that spent a lot of time out on the water. We're talking sailors. This was something that was sewn for them, and they had that right here around the neck, not only to keep in the heat, but also, hey, if you get water thrown on you, probably know about wool. Wool, 40-50% of its weight, it can absorb in water and still feel dry. That's why the turtleneck was just such a great piece for sailors. Fast forward to World War II, we see the turtleneck continuing to serve men as standard issue, especially in the silent service. I'm talking submarines. You saw this as standard issue because it worked. Whenever you're on a submarine, you're deep down there, you want to keep it quiet, heater's not going to be on for a while, you wear a turtleneck to stay warm. Whenever you're up on the surface trying to get some speed going and you're up there on top and you're getting water splashed on you, guess what? You're wearing your turtleneck. It's going to do a great job serving you in a variety of situations. All right, so at this point, you're convinced it's manly, but how to wear a turtleneck and make it look good? Well, let's go check out Steve McQueen in the movie Bullet. Look at this right here. He's wearing that turtleneck, just making it look amazing, matching it up with sports jackets. So does this mean you always have to layer it, always have to wear it with a sports jacket? Of course not. You can wear it by itself. In fact, look at James Bond in the movie Spectre. Just a really nice look. Come on, Daniel Craig pulling this off. Guys, you can too. Now let's address the issue of comfort. You want to make sure you go with a sweater that's made from a quality merino wool. Pay attention to the material, because if you get something cheap, that's when it's going to start itching around the neck. Basically, the barbs at the end of the wool fiber are going to go into the neck and it just irritates, and that's what you want to avoid. Now that navy turtleneck, absolutely love it. Love the classic color, but this one right here is made from cashmere. And in case you don't know what the difference is, cashmere comes from goats. It's going to be finer, it's going to be a bit thinner, and it's going to feel even softer. I mean, that merino wool is nice, but this is, yeah, just amazing. Now guys, at this point, I want to let you know all the clothing you're seeing in today's video is brought to you by John Henrik. Now gents, I've talked about John Henrik before, and I love this company because they're bringing amazing, high quality luxury pieces to you at affordable prices. Seriously, go check out their prices, guys. You are going to be amazed at the quality that you're getting at the price. I mean, they sent me a lot of clothing. I went through and inspected it all. I pay attention to all the details, the stitching, their shirts, awesome, immaculate. I love the fabrics. I love the attention on the way they stitched on the buttons. Then I go look at their sweaters. I put on all their sweaters. I had a lot of their sweaters that they'd sent me previously, but all these new ones, they still continue to shine. Amazing materials. Like I said, that merino wool, you want to make sure it's not itchy. Theirs is amazing. This cashmere, beautiful. And they've got all these really cool designs. I don't know who is their designer, but I would have to say when I go look at this stuff, I think modern day James Bond. They have got a lot of style, more style than I've gotten. So they sent me all these pieces. That double-breasted blazer I showed you at the very beginning, that is an amazing piece. And yeah, I didn't have anything like that. And so I got it. And I'm just like, this thing is going to start the video off. I went through and just looked at all the pieces. What I love is if you want trousers, they've got you covered. If you want ties, they've got you covered. You want bags, they've got you covered. Guys, go over and check out John Henrik. What I love about this, they have everything you need at good prices, and the quality is top notch. Now, the next item on my list is going to be the shirt jacket. Notice how this works really well with that cashmere turtleneck. You've got that textured material underneath. You got the turtleneck right in here. You got that green color, mixing it with the blue. Not much contrast, but this is a really smart, nice look. And what I like about this is, again, it's casual. So the shirt jacket, if you're not familiar, this is going to be made in a jacket style, but from a shirt material. This one using a plain basket weave. And that's why I love John Hendrick. They take something so simple, but they make it look really nice. And I love how all their items work together. So it's kind of like the interchangeable wardrobe. And guys, if that's not enough for you, they've got amazing customer service and they ship free worldwide. Yes, you guys over in Europe, you guys over in Asia, we got you covered with John Hendrick. So use that link down in the description to get the best deal on the web. An amazing company. I'm linking to them down in the description. Next up on the list, Twilled Chinos in deep, rich colors. So I said a few things there. First up, Twilled Chinos. You're going to see chinos out there made for summer, and they're going to usually have a weave that's going to be a little bit more breathable. Twill, this is one of the tightest weaves out there. And so whenever you touch twill, this is going to be thicker, heavier. It's also going to be something that isn't going to be as breathable, which is great for the cooler time of the year. Because a lot of people think chinos and think, oh, it's only a summer pant. Not exactly. There are certain chinos, again, out there, not only the weave, but also the color. And that's why I said deep, rich hues. Hues are actually where they take a color and they add basically a little bit of black, a little bit of gray to it. It makes the color a bit darker. So for me, you want to go with that darker, richer maroon. So like a red there. Right here, I've got this beautiful green. Then they're going to look good. Maybe go for that dark navy. This is a great time of the year for it. You can go with the khaki, but go with that darker, richer khaki if you're going to go for it. Another thing to look for are chinos that have a bit of a napped surface. And so a napped surface is after they treat the material, it feels soft. What's nice about napped surfaces is they trap air and they do a better job of insulation and keeping you warm. Oh, and when looking for quality chinos, you want to make sure you go for at least a 2-button front. Why? Because it's going to better distribute the weight. It's going to be much more comfortable than a single button where all the weight and all the tension is going to be. They're just much more comfortable. Trust me on this one. The next winter wardrobe essential, the right bag. And I'm going to make the case for the tote. A lot of you guys say, Antonio, come on, I would never use a tote. That's a woman's bag. No, it isn't. If you know the history on the tote, this was basically just a catch-all. And that's what I love about this bag, is it's so functional. It's going to be deeper than a lot of other bags out there, so it can fit a wide range of different things. What I like is I can just drop my laptop into this. I can easily carry books, just things I want to throw in there. And in fact, it was in the Marine Corps when I had a pilot's bag. That was actually the same size and actually where many totes, where the idea originates, is being able to hold something that would basically fit into this square. So it was a very functional bag, and it got picked up on the women's side. So many guys never even have a tote. So if you're looking for a gift, you want to try a different style bag, something that's going to fit your laptop and all your books, go out there and look at the different totes. Now, if you're going to choose one for winter, especially this time of the year, I like to go with something with a dark color, maybe like a nylon or a material that isn't going to take stains easily. So very functional and yeah, a great thing to have during the winter. Now let's talk about bold patterns. Bold patterns for your shirts. Right here you see an awning stripe. A little bit thicker, a little bit heavier than the bangle stripe. Bangle stripe's about 1/4 of an inch, and that's pretty strong as well. But the awning stripe, this is about 1/3 of an inch to sometimes 1/2 an inch. This is a very bold pattern. And I'm not going to recommend that you just wear the shirt with a pair of trousers. I would recommend that you layer. And it's the time of the year that you're going to layer. And that's what's great about this, is that we're going to cover up a bit of the shirt in general when we're wearing pieces. But this combination, this bold look, is great for the cooler weather. The next bold pattern on my list, Paisley. And shout out to my friends over in India. You know where this comes from. So Paisley, this has been in menswear for a long time. Most of the time we see it in accessories. Pocket squares, sometimes in neckties, but I do think you can pull it off in a shirt. Again, when you're going to be layering, when this isn't going to be something you can wear with just the trousers. Although if you want to go for that look, you can. But when you go for a really bold shirt like this, I think it looks best when you bring in other pieces with it and go with the layered look. That being said, there are exceptions to the rule. Note this Paisley right here, really nice because it's muted, and I could actually wear this just as a shirt and trousers, but because it's winter, because it's getting cool, I want to make sure and layer it, and that's where this is really going to shine. People from a distance will think it's a solid, but then they get up close and they see that pattern and it's going to pop. In fact, let's see what that's going to look like. Beautiful, right? I love this combination. Get that brown with green, one of my favorite colors. And that takes us to the next item on this list, the V-neck sweater. Now, nothing against crew neck sweaters. I think they're great, they're awesome, but V-necks, they work so nice with layering. Again, you wear a shirt like this, you're able to show more of the collar. It's a natural overall look, and yeah, it just is beautiful. Now, looking at this combination right here, I'm wondering, could I bring in a necktie? And that's the next item on the list, a wool knitted necktie. So if you've never tried one of these, casual, this isn't going to be like a silk necktie that you want to wear with a suit, but for a casual combination like this, yeah, you could pull it off, go with the brown, got that paisley, the nice, basically very simple pattern here, mixed in with the green. The other thing I'd probably want to wear a canvas or a jacket over this to bring, because I've almost got too much napped surface right here with the sweater and then with this, but I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think this combination could work? Next up on the list, corduroy. I've talked about corduroy trousers, but let's talk about corduroy jackets. This jacket right here is shirt jacket, so I've talked about this style earlier in the video, but let's talk in particular about the corduroy fabric. So what's nice about this is it gives a textured look, an overall textured feel, but corduroy for the most part is going to be made from cotton, so it's very durable. Right here we've got this shirt with the sheen on it. Very nice, beautiful pattern. You got that paisley, and then you've got this rugged kind of corduroy on top. Even though there's not a whole lot of contrast in the color, because there's a contrast in the texture of the material, it just feels right, and it's a nice combination. And here's another look with a navy sweater jacket. This one similar to the one at the start, except this one is single-breasted. So if that whole double-breasted thing is too much for you, then look at a single-breasted sweater jacket. And this is a sweater jacket, not a cardigan. And the difference being this one has that breast patch pocket right here. In addition, I've got the two pockets down at the bottom, and it's also got the fold over with the lapels right in here. And so that's the small difference, but I really like them. I mean, cardigans are cool, but yeah, these jackets, these sweater jackets, really unique. And of course, let's not forget the sweater polo. Now, the sweater polo gets its name because of the collar design. Similar to a polo, it's usually going to have about 3 buttons on the front, although there are many designs out there with no buttons. Point being is we've got that nice soft collar. We're going to have usually longer sleeve, although there were shorter sleeve ones for the summer. Point being is that this is a classic that every man should have in his winter wardrobe. Okay, so at this point, if you're like, Antonio, come on, you got to give me more. You didn't even talk about leather bags. You're exactly right. So guess what? I cover more in this video right here, 21 wardrobe essentials that every young man needs to own. Now, if you're not so young, it's still going to apply to you. And this is more of a full year wardrobe. And by the way, this leather bag found over at John Henrik. Amazing bags over there, guys. So make sure to use that link down in the description and go check out John Henrik.